Hi everyone, and in this video I'm gonna talk about my final project, which is a quiz game. And for this quiz game, we created four files: one HTML file, one CSS file, and two JS files. We link these two JS files by giving their sources to HTML, thus we can use them, both of them. The first JS file it contains only one big array with objects, and each object contains question, answers, and correct answer. The other JS file is the main file that contains all the functions inside of it. The first thing that we do here is we create a constant questions, and we call here the my questions from the questions.js, and then we create a constant all, which is a function, and this is the main function which contains all the other functions inside of it, and at the end of our code we just call all function. Then we console log our questions here, thus we can use it inside of this function. Then we create a random function, and we give the question amount 10, as we created more than 10 questions, and we want just to show us 10 of them and to give them a random order. And there's another function called existing questions, which will check the previous question, and it will not repeat the same question more than one time. So we have here a build quiz, and which will actually build a quiz. And here is a constant output which will collect HTML outputs. And here we have for each, and what is inside of this will work for each question that we have here. So here we have constant answers, which will collect the list of answer choices. And here we have answers push, and we call here a radio, which will when the user will click to the answer, it will become checked, and the other answers will remain unchecked. And this is output push, which will actually push the outputs to HTML file. And finally, there is a show result function, which will actually calculate the number of correct answers, and it will show us. And here we have an if statements, like if the user will answer the question correct, and the num character that we gave here, which is equal to 0, will be increased by 1, and the question with answers will become green. And if the user answered the question wrong, it will become just red. And here we have a result container inner HTML, which will actually show how many questions the user answered correctly out of 10. So here we have show slide function, which will actually change the slide. As our one question is same as one slide, it will automatically change our question. And here we created conditions for showing us our buttons, like we gave in our HTML previous, next, and our submit button. Here we gave, for example, a current slide is equal to 0, which means this is the first question, and we gave here previous button is none, because there is no previous question. And we give a specific condition to all these buttons. Here we have two functions which will actually change our slides, like to next one and previous one. We created in our HTML files IDs like quiz, result, and submit, and we get their ID here. So we here finished our build quiz function and we call it. And we also create a constant and call here our random function. So we also created we created specific code which will allow us to use our keyboard for changing the slide. So basically this is our code.